In the bustling heart of India's economic engine, a silent force propels the nation forward. Often overshadowed by the headlines, a network of businesses form the backbone of this growth. Welcome to Small Giants MSMEs in the Spotlight, a groundbreaking documentary series that shines light on the unseen heroes India's micro, small and medium enterprises, the unsung champions driving the country's success. As we delve into the intricate world of these enterprises, a new wave crests on the global financial horizon, a wave of green and sustainable finance and how it can aid not just MSMEs but also our planet. Let's begin.
The world is going green and finance is no exception. Today, green finance is a rapidly growing trend that's transforming economies. But what exactly is it and why is it having such a moment?
I think that we have to understand the current context. And what we have to know is that the global economy is facing a challenge of sustainable development. And there are many aspects to this. One significant aspect is green finance, which is essentially the finance required in order to step up sustainable investment and sustainable financing, which is in line with the 17 sustainable development targets that was defined by the United Nations. Green finance essentially is that you finance projects which are in line with the principles of sustainable development. And the term green is in line with the need to reduce carbon emissions. So how do you reduce carbon emissions? Simply by increasing the oxygen, that we require. And one aspect of this is seeing that there's enough of green cover. So therefore, the term green finance.
All studies say that if we remain the way we remain today, we risk the humanity in next 20 to 30 years. So green financing is financing which improves sustainability. It can be any form and shape. It can be for rooftop solar, it can be for EV, it can be for water, it can be all of the things which are sustainable and which is making our planet more green. And there are various ways and thought. And its importance for India is very, very high, given that we are the largest consumer of oil and oil is a commodity which will get extinct. So the financial importance of converging to green energy and through the support of green financing for our country is fairly important.
Green finance funding eco-friendly projects is on the rise. What's behind this trend and how does it impact India's economic landscape as it seeks both growth and sustainability?
So the recent factors that I would attribute is mainly first and foremost climate change. So we have been seeing the actual effects of what biologists or what scientists have been talking about. We were talking about global warming, now we are feeling the effects of global warming. It's not just research papers any longer. Even as an individual, even at the basic level, even children can understand that yes, it is very, very real. So mainly this kind of ecological change has given the need for companies and corporations to think about how they are affecting and impacting our ecological systems. This is the biggest factor that's contributing to companies requiring to become more greener, more sustainable.
I think at various levels. So if you take, the recently concluded COP28, governments, corporates, even individuals are now starting to become more and more conscious about, the impact on climate. And therefore, the need for climate finance is increasing. If I look at any financial institution, they actually have two roles on finance, right? First role being whatever portfolio that they are lending to, that is impacted by climate finance. So, for example, if there is sudden floods in Chennai, all the people who they have given loans to, some of them may now not be able to repay or will take much longer to repay because of climate and climate-related disasters that happen. So their portfolio is subject to, a lot of things that happen on climate change. But Therefore, if they can finance towards technologies which can help, reduce the impact of climate change, that is the way in which they can actually change the direction, because finance is that lever, right? If you provide finance to certain technologies, then those technologies become more prevalent in the economy. And therefore, while they are the recipient of a lot of problems from climate change, through finance, they can actually change the direction. And that's why green finance is booming.
We, as MSMEs, have a significant demand for external credit now, which is supposed to be in the range of anywhere between 35 to 45 trillion rupees. But there's a lack of access when we talk about to financing due to various stiff lending policies, collateral requirements for high growth financing, small project ticket sizes, and obviously transaction costs. So what we feel is green financing can actually help MSMEs access green bond capital, which maybe the SIDBI could become the governing institution. It has a high credit rating. It has already experience in bond issuance. It also has a working relationship with the MSME sector as being the, I would say, the base of most of our collateral-free lending schemes and stuff like that. So a green finance platform could easily help MSMEs access green bond capital. And the platform would obviously be governed overall by maybe the Security and Exchange Board of India, which they already have their own requirements, disclosure requirements for bond issuance. But when we talk about the need, we say, we are talking about $600 billion worth of funding gap which is required. So sustainable finance is definitely required. There's no two ways about it.
In today's environmentally conscious landscape, green funding initiatives are emerging as a powerful engine for innovation and growth among small and medium enterprises.
Happily, today we have started talking about Scope 2 and Scope 3 emissions, and that is how clean or how green is the entire value chain. And that basically necessitates that medium MSMEs are also part of our journey, of our green journey. MSME is a domain where green funding has a lot of supply side intervention. And SIDBI has come up with promoting green investments from the adoption of low carbon technologies and to increase renewable energy deployment. And it's all supply side incentives. So unless and until, because almost 60% of our total production comes from SMEs, and therefore, unless and until we ensure that they are green, we cannot achieve the target of going net zero as a country as well. So therefore, the government also is coming up with a lot of schemes so that the industries can adopt them. They result in cost savings, and both in terms of cost of capital as well as energy savings in years to come.
So I think two things here, and for MSMEs, this is important. So let's say I take an example of let's say a textile MSME or an MSME in another sector. If I have certain machines which I'm using today, there are many alternatives which are available which are more energy efficient. So if I actually put this machinery, I will get much more savings in my energy bill. But so the business case of that exists. But for me to make that investment, I obviously need finance, because to change my existing machine and to put a new machine, I do need some financing. So this is where MSMEs can actually take the help of green finance, which, from various institutions is also available at a slightly, I would say, more attractive rate, which then allows them to make the switch. In terms of broader investors that they can target, again, so you obviously take funding from, let's say, banks, etc., for your typical working capital needs. But for green finance, you now have, dedicated NBFCs which focus only on the green financing. We also have, I would say, people like SIDBI who are supporting MSMEs in a very big way. And their objective is actually, to help the sector as a development financial institution as well. So now much more broader set of, opportunities are available for MSMEs.
While the path to a greener future is clear, the journey for many businesses isn't without its obstacles. As MSMEs face numerous challenges in adopting sustainable practices due to limited awareness, concerns about upfront costs, and a lack of technical knowledge. However, the good news is there's a wealth of support available.
I feel that the government plays the most important and the most pivotal role because it is policy that will actually determine the future. Unless and until policy changes come in, and unless and until policy actually dictates companies to come up with these kinds of innovations and changes that are there within their entire working process, unless and until this happens, nobody wants change. Nobody wants to actually go forward with change unless and until somebody forces them to. Even if that change is good for them, we are resistant to change. And something of this sort, I think government policy is the first thing that actually requires quite a lot of changes, and that will definitely affect and impact the business world in changing towards a greener future, a cleaner and a greener future. So policy is the first thing. After policy, I think it's support in the form of capital formation, and hence green capital policies, capital formation, things like green deposits that we already spoke about. Rules and regulations by the SEBI to come up with various mutual funds as well as bonds. Green bonds are also in vogue these days, and we already have a couple of public sector as well as private sector banks which have already come up with these kinds of green bonds. So all of these kinds of things will definitely promote a much healthier environment for all of us.
I think so. With every passing time, we are seeing more and more MSMEs are understanding that their energy need, and which is one of the most expensive component in their manufacturing setup, can actually become free of cost. Look at this way: if you implement a rooftop solar, your interest plus capital cost get paid down by saving the energy bill over a period of 4 to 5 years. The life of a rooftop solar is around 25 years. So for the balance 20 years, you have a free electricity coming to that. And this is becoming a trend. And you'll see massive rooftop solar implementation in India just because of this. A lot of services sector MSME don't have physical infrastructure where the rooftop can be implemented. In manufacturing also, the way they are clustered sometimes become difficult. But there is a need of massive awareness, right? A lot of MSME don't know that in 5 years, their capex would get paid and that for 20 years they can use it. Second, there is an awareness among lenders that there is a method to do it. And third, there is a quality implementers, EPCs and manufacturers, which all this has to be brought together. Once that happens, I think so MSMEs will contribute to our zero carbon mission.
My feeling is this is going to go exponentially through the roof, because the requirement that we have for green financing is huge. There's no two ways about it. Similarly, when we are talking about accessing green finance for MSMEs, we are also feeling that we will be expected to contribute to India's climate targets, like the Panchamrit targets that are talking about, including almost 500 gigawatt of non-fossil fuel-based energy capacity, meeting 50% of India's energy requirements through non-fossil sources by 2030. So there are so many targets that we have, and we have to meet them. And so my feeling is the future of green financing in India is extremely promising. If we can continue to have the same commitment that the government has exhibited to sustainable development, there will be huge possibilities for this sector.
So the verdict is emphatic. Green and sustainable financing is here, and it's here to stay. With that, we conclude the first segment of Small Giants MSMEs in the Spotlight, powered by Ugrow Capital and partnered by ET Now and ET Now Swadesh. After the break, we'll feature a company that carved a niche for itself in the cleaning equipment manufacturing sector. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Small Giants MSMEs in the Spotlight, powered by YouGrow Capital, partnered by ET Now and ET Now Swadesh. Time now for an exclusive conversation with Mr. S.K. Gupta, Director of Techno Clean Equipments. Let's delve into his journey and unravel the secrets behind the success.
In a rapidly evolving market, Indian MSMEs are making significant strides, especially in the manufacturing sector. Techno Clean Equipments, a pioneer in the cleaning equipment industry, has been at the forefront of this revolution. A leading manufacturer of cleaning equipment in India, the company has been at the forefront of the industry for over 25 years.
We are selling single disc machines, single disc scrubbers, the most, vacuum cleaners, and then now industrial vacuum cleaners, the large ones which are meant for truly industrial applications. Those are things in demand. Scrubber dryers, one more product. Our products, like all our products combined, cater to almost any kind of industry. Whether it is very hard environment, soft environment, or ultra hygiene requirement like pharma industry, we have machines for almost every need. Anything cleaning, they have solution for that.
Founded with the vision of making clean machines more affordable and accessible in India, Techno Clean has grown significantly and has become a major supplier to various government organizations.
Initial reason was to manufacture the cleaning machines. In India, at that time once we started, there were no manufacturer in India. All imports, and they were very expensive. So idea was to bring down the cost and start manufacturing in India so that the reliance on imported machines could be reduced. The industry has multiplied. In 25 years, it has multiplied almost 25 times. And we are also developed a lot. We have developed a number of machines in this period. And indigenized a couple of them. We are supplying large supplier to the various government organizations.
Facing immense hurdles in securing initial funds, Mr. Gupta reveals that he had to make numerous sacrifices to launch his company. While highlighting past struggles, he also points to positive changes in the current market.
Yes, of course. At that time, challenges were huge. Getting funds, initial funds were very difficult. The banks were not really willing to give anything unless they give security 100%, 200%. Now it is eased. As the banks, the government has also come up with a scheme for CGTSME where you can borrow collateral-free loans. There are finance companies also who give unsecured loans. At that time, nothing was there. In fact, I tell you, I had to pledge my flat to start order with we got. Banking was a little difficult. Even the various government hurdles were also there at that time initially. Like a separate VAT department, separate excise department. Now coming of GST has eased up things a lot.
Techno Clean's commitment to catering to diverse needs has led to a comprehensive range of products that extends far beyond the home, as it offers solutions for various industries, from heavy-duty cleaning in harsh environments to maintaining ultra-hygienic conditions in the pharmaceutical industry.
We have recently introduced one machine called Multi-Mop. It is meant for domestic use, 2.2 kg in weight, and can clean almost anything. Like talk about floors, kitchens, washrooms, your sofa set, your chairs, your glass panels, anything you name, it cleans everything. This is the latest machine.
While acknowledging positive government initiatives, Mr. Gupta shares his views about the challenges faced by MSMEs in the current market, including competition from cheap imports and excessive regulations.
Current challenges in the industry market is basically import from China, in our tower industry at least. The bulk imports from China, they are selling at a much lesser price. And certain government rules and frames that needs to be eased out. There are few things that are still under red tapes and needs to be corrected. Like every year, renewal of factories license, renewal of fire license, renewal of pollution license. All these renewals every year or every second year. Hassle, unnecessary hassle, which needs to be done only once. And government initiatives have helped a lot. Like currently they are saying that come up with the scheme, CGTME scheme now it is increased to 5 crores. You can borrow up to 5 crores from the government without any collateral. That's a good initiative. And what more needs to be done is, I've already told, a certain improvement in laws. There are so many of them.
As TechnoClean Equipments continues to innovate and expand its product offerings, it remains a beacon of success for Indian MSMEs in the manufacturing sector.
And with that, we conclude this special edition of Small Giants MSMEs in the Spotlight. In this installment, we delved deep into the realm of green financing, focusing specifically on its significance for MSMEs. We explored how MSMEs can leverage green financing to their benefit, highlighting the critical role of collaboration between governments and other stakeholders. Additionally, we uncovered the secrets to success behind TechnoClean Equipment's excellence in this industry. Stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, farewell. Thanks very much for watching.